overloading your brain? Did you know that it was even possible? Hi, Darlene Dawn here for Living Your Best Life, and today's topic is going to be brain overload. We are only meant to hold so much information at a time. With the rise in technology, we are putting so much stress on our brains. We have our cell phones and computers and all the social media and the emails and the groups we belong to and the programs we might be creating, and the list goes on and on and on. And while we're doing this, we are constantly being pinged with notifications and personal messages, and we feel like we are being bombarded with information nonstop. We also feel the need to answer these emails and these personal messages immediately. So we tend to multitask, which we think we're proud of, but really, when you multitask, you're not doing things as well as you think you can be doing them, because everything is suffering. Nothing is being done 100%. This puts undue stress on our brains. This can make us like a computer with very little storage left that starts to freeze and not work properly. We've all had those computers where they just won't hold anymore and they freeze and you get maybe that blue screen. Well, that's what we're doing to our brains. It is normal for our brain's memory to decline as we age, but more and more younger people are finding their memories not as sharp, and that is due to information overload. Studies in Japan have proven that we can enhance our memories at these early stages by taking notice, by being mindful and changing a few things. Sometimes it is just as simple as unplugging either all your devices or just one device. Maybe it's just your phone for a few hours so that you can put 100% of your brain to doing one task at a time without feeling overload. Now, sleep is crucial for memory, and that is the one area that I fail big time. Anyone who's not had a great night's sleep is aware of the brain fog that goes with lack of sleep. And there are different things you can do to help your brain. Sleep is one of them. Challenging your brain is another, because you either use it or lose it. And there are many ways in which we can challenge our brain. You can Google them. There's brain teasers, using your less dominant hand for everyday tasks like brushing your teeth. And this is to get your brain working and firing differently. Try word association to remember things instead of writing everything down. This is one thing I do often, and it's more because I'm just too lazy and I lose lists lots of times. So I will, instead of writing it down, I'll use word association like breakfast and bills or something like that, something that will help you remember. This encourages your brain to remember by word associating. This is often used to remember names as well. You can probably remember, there was a guy named Dale Carnegie, and he was big into teaching stuff like this, how you would associate, to remember a person's name, you would associate it with another word. For example, I can't even think of anything right now, like Jane, plain Jane. Maybe that's how you'd associate. I hope I'm not the Jane that we're talking about here, but that might be one example. Or it might be bubbly Judy or something, but there's a word that only works for you to remember that person's name. And it's a great way and a proven way in which you can remember someone's name and not just their face. So I also use this association with words. When I have a list of few things that I need to get at the store, I can be seen muttering to myself, carrots, apples, celery, and I'll keep repeating it in my head and till I get the carrots, apples, celery, but it becomes almost like a song or like a rap song or something, and you just keep hearing it over and over and over again in your head. And these are also ways in which you're helping your brain and helping your memory and helping it fire on all cylinders. It's a good thing to be doing. We all know how important it is to stay active for our bodies, but it's also important to stay active for our brains, because when you're active, you're getting more oxygen to your brain. And that is something that's really important if you want your brain to work well. It's like exercising your brain when you're exercising. And there are exercises you can do for your brain, like I said earlier, by brain teasers. But also this oxygen that you intake when you're exercising also helps your brain, and it helps it function much better. So Now for the big one, stress. We all are going to have stress in our life, and that's just a matter of fact. Stress will drain your brain faster than anything. This is probably one of the hardest things of all. Managing our stress is also one of the most important things we can do for our mind, body, and soul. Meditation and exercise can help, and learning to cope by being more mindful for whatever we need to do to keep stress at bay. We are all guilty of brain overload at one time or another. But it is important that we see the signs and what is actually happening to us and learn that sometimes it's necessary to unplug in order to recharge yourself. Think of yourself like a battery. You're draining everything, you're depleting everything out of yourself. So you have to plug yourself back in. And in order to do that, in the case of being a human, we have to unplug in order to recharge. So take care of your brain so that you can live your best life and hopefully a long, productive life following your dreams and passions. Until next time, bye for now.